So that sell idea never came in. Hey, Danny, how are you?
No, I appreciate it. It was good.
That's good. You're welcome.
Yeah, yesterday, I wasn't going to chip in, but price for me had closed and sat above one of my magic green lines, and it was in a good position for longs. I just didn't know anything about the fundamentals at that point, but um,
Oh,
yeah, it would have been good.
Yeah, man, it would have been a nice one. So it just like I don't like these days that it does this because uh, if I'm wrong on an idea, as in like overall direction, and so like a lot of the time I've got the overall direction right, but there are times, of course, that you're never going to get it right. But even when I've got the overall direction wrong, I've had zones that have held at least for enough to
Yeah,
get a trade. And yesterday was one of those
yeah,
days that it was just so one sided that I just couldn't. None of my zones are holding, and then once price broke up into these all time highs, I guess by this stage here, I was just kind of like trying to find something. So, I mean, it just powered up, and yeah, just there was just zero opportunity really for me to. I mean, once I realized I got the wrong direction, I don't want to like turn around and just chase it. So then I'm just waiting to see if I can still get like 0.5% or 1%, just doing a counter trend trade instead. But in this situation, it just took a flat loss, which is a shame. And then yeah,
well, I think when it gets up into all-time highs, it's really more gambling because you just don't have anything to go off, and so even if you see price action that indicates a little counter trend opportunity, it really isn't reliable. I don't think.
well, I just find it difficult to like set a target, and that's one thing. Like with any trade idea, you need to have an entry, a stop loss, and a target. And then when it's at all time highs or breaking,
yeah.
like it wasn't quite at all time high at the time. Like it did make an all time high, but like when it was pushing up, like I just even in here, this area where the price was, because I think I ended up trying to take a sell from like this level, this yellow line, which made sense. That top yellow line. When I go to the left here, like this was where I was looking to see if we get some sort of reaction from here. Otherwise, this was I think an MMG, and
Up
then
again.
and then this was the next level of resistance. So I thought maybe this would have a decent reaction from here. So at least like I had an entry point, even for a cowboy trade. Stop loss for these cowboy trades to me is just an arbitrary number, just like 30, 40 pips. And then the take profit, I'm just going with like risk reward or just seeing if we can push back down like 50% of the move, or start like it was so bullish I wasn't sure we'd get back into like Asia session. Um, so in this case, like a cowboy trade, I had a stop loss set. I had my entry, which was based on price action to the left, and then target was going to be a multiple of risk reward. So I had enough there. It just didn't work out, And as much as like losses hurt, they always piss me off. But there's not much I could have done about it. I just got to follow the system, know that I make money over time, not trying to make money every time, and that's a key component that you have traders that losses derail them. Whereas I've learnt my lesson a long time ago that I've got to learn to take losses like a man, and if did I do anything wrong? Like when I reflect on the session afterwards, it made sense, and that's why everything's 2020 in hindsight. And I'm sure there's going to be people going, "Oh, you're an idiot. You did that," but I don't really care what people think. Like I follow my system. Um, the way in hindsight, the narrative I should have gone with is they were like we saw two consecutive sessions on Monday and Tuesday, where price, like I'll show you, like this is Monday and Tuesday, and like we sat through this price action on Monday, that was like that first hour and a half of trading, and it was just dead. And then the same thing on, oh sorry, that's Tuesday. This was Monday. So like it was just dead across here on Monday, and then on Tuesday it was dead also. And then I was thinking on Wednesday, given that New York session actually did quite well, I just thought maybe we like I was still long, but I thought London might have just done like a little like just try to get a better price, but they just literally just went straight up, and that's just something that it happens, but it's not a high probability event that it happens. But when you put context around it, I think everyone's started this week worried about July 9 trade tariff deadline, but it pretty quickly got extended to August 1st. But then there were letters to be sent out, and those letters to be sent out, I don't think anyone was really certain which countries were going to be those letters that were going to which countries are going to receive them. So there was a chance that Europe could have been there, but when it was clear that it wasn't, and then overnight we had like a pretty tight consolidation in Asia and Europe, and probably no threat of a surprise news event, given New York, it's in the very very early morning for them. So without that threat of an unusual event happening, I think it was a very good chance for the bulls just to rage, and indeed they raged, and it's a missed opportunity. So I'm kind of gutted about it. And you look at the way that the price is now. You look at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like it was just this is an enormous day. Yeah, it is what it is. So I think you just got to shrug it off, So I'll move on from it. Today's a new day. We'll see what today brings. I made a little bit back in the New York session. It still ended up being a losing day for me because New York session was bloody pissed me off, man. I was looking for a long, and this, I'm not sure what caused this move up here. Like this happened at 2:00. So and then this is New York Stock Exchange open on NAS, and I was thinking earlier, I was like, should I just put a long trade on, like during the day, expecting to see like us break out? Didn't, and then I saw price like pushing up and up. It's like, oh bugger. So, but then what I put a trade, I did put a buy order in, and price came rocketing down after New York Stock Exchange open, and I put a buy order in literally right there, just at the base of this demand zone where price accelerated from, and it was basically the spread that kept me out of that trade. Maybe at worst there was 2 pips, maximum 2 pips.
How much was the spread?
Spread's about 1, I think. It's around 1, but it was literally like a pip away from triggering my trade, and then price started pushing, and I was like, I kind of had a bit of a FOMO moment. I think I was just incredibly frustrated yesterday. So then I ended up buying because I missed it, and then I was on a call with my coder at the time, and I ended up thinking, oh, screw this, I'm just going to get in. So I bought like up near here. And then when I was talking to my coder, price started retracing back on me. I'll go to the 5-minute. So where was it? Chatting to Bill. I did jump in, and I got in like, I think it was after this wick. I think I bought like here somewhere, and then price came back down, and I sort of sat through this drawdown, and like my stop loss was under here. I wasn't worried about my stop loss, But then just sort of sitting through this again, and then I had to go pick up Maddie from nursery, and then by the time price was creeping up, I just chickened out at this level. So I ended up making, like, this is basically my trade. Initially I was expecting it to fill like a lot of this space. So it would have been a winner if I held it, but because I sat through this drawdown and because I had a losing day in the London session, by the time it got back up to here, I just took the profit. So I made back some, not enough to, because it wasn't even a 1-to-1. I ended up, it was just, I wasn't able to make up the loss. So I put this down as yesterday was a losing day, and it was the first losing day. Ultimately, like, I've had losing trades, had losing sessions, but I've either made money in the London session, given some back in New York, or lost in London, made it back plus some in New York. It'd be the first losing day in about 2.5 weeks or so. So just kind of ended my run, and it's just annoying when these things happen. Like, just what could have been, like, just got the wrong narrative. German 40, just, I just had it wrong. So I just got to admit that. But then that was incredibly frustrating. And then I FOMO'd in, and then it just sat through this drawdown. No one, I kind of broke my rule. It was overboard in the stocky again. It was just having a shit day trading, to be honest. But these days happen.
But the psychology is funny, isn't it? Because if you consider the fact that it's inevitable that we have a losing day, if you only do that once every 2 or 3 weeks, then that should be considered a success. And when it happens, you see it as a failure, but it's actually confirmation of your success and the probability. So.
Yeah, it's like it's an old mindset. So I was thinking, as soon as you get onto like a winning streak, you don't want to see winning streaks end. So it puts pressure on you to keep it going. And I think that was like, it's just myself as well. Like, going through some financial things at the moment with like, not struggling financially. I'm not meaning like that. What I mean is, like, it's tax time. We're buying this house, putting the numbers together for, like, to move back to Australia and all these things. Like, I've just been thinking, like, what I want to achieve in trading. My account is protected at the moment, as in, because we're just waiting to settle on this house. And so I just wondering, should I, like, I'm close to scaling my account back up again, but it's just a few things going on, and then just having, like, these winning streaks, you just don't want them to end. But it's funny when, like, a single day it didn't derail me. I'm talking like I was 0.5% down. I'm talking like it's been an absolute failure, but it's just it's a frustrating day, because I felt I just, when I don't understand, when I feel like I haven't, when I'm not in tune to the market, I get annoyed. But it's going to happen. Like, at least I like to understand almost immediately where I went wrong. And German 40, I can understand it. I just didn't quite understand why it's so bullish. That was the one thing. I just couldn't understand why now. Like, what caused this? Why was I so off the mark? And I think that always just makes me sit back and reflect a little bit. Anyway, yesterday was a reflection day, so it is what it is. I think if you can take any lessons from it, then it is that, it still hurts. Any sort of losing day, any streak that you lose, or any single losing trade, like, it pisses you off. But it's about how you do not let those losses derail you. Just get away from the computer if you need time. Just always regroup. Now, I'm disappointed missing that. I'm disappointed where price is as well, to be honest, because it always makes it so much harder when we are at these levels. Yeah. Anyway, it's always nice to get back into the winning circle, and I think NAS, it was a good opportunity as well. And I think I just broke my rule with a loss, a near, just missed, then FOMO'd in, sat through drawdown, chickened out on the trade. It was just an bloody annoying day, man. And I think I was overtired too, because Maddie's been giving us hell to sleep. She doesn't sleep more than an hour. But then she goes to nursery and she sleeps for 2.5 hours at the nursery. It doesn't wake up until after 3 o'clock. And then I see that in the app. And I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm trying to put her bed at 7:30, and she's been sleeping had a lovely sleep during the day. And then last night she was up every hour.
We had to tell them to stop doing that, Hayden, because that was really stuffing us up. So I've got to jump in and say that.
She needs to sleep, though.
If they sleep too much.
Yeah,
but then they don't sleep at night, and then they just sleep all day, and that messes them up worse.
Yeah, but she normally only sleeps an hour and a bit. But because she's only been sleeping an hour max at a time, and then cries, and I've got to go into the room and calm her or hold her.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've got to sit and hold her for an hour and a half while she really gets into a deep sleep before I put her back in the crib. It just means I'm up all night, and then I don't sleep during the day.
So, it's not easy, man.
Yeah, and then watching the Blues get smashed, and I put a multi on the Blues as well, so I lost that. just had a loser.
Oh, mate,
I was just a loser yesterday.
You need to run away from your computer as fast as possible now.
That was on the app. Yeah. So today, be careful, guys. Just, whatever I do, just do the opposite today. I'm on a losing streak.
You'll be all right. You'll shake it off.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so today, what am I looking at? I give you a couple ideas. So you're an Aussie. I still like this. I think this now though. Remember these pathways that I put out? That it was with the Aussie news. It was either we just explode up. Be careful of this zone. So that one was actually successful on Monday, and then we had the unexpected news on Tuesday, but they didn't cut. They held. Price fell back into this consolidation area. Now, this was a zone that I've got my eyes on, this level. But if it does break down the next opportunity, I don't particularly want to take sells. But there's a big distance here, 140 pips. But this is the next area that I got my eyes on. So if you want, I still think Euro and Aussie is on a upward trajectory. I think there's a deeper trend line by memory. Yeah, this one. So from here to here, I quite like. Okay, so I quite like the idea if we can break down into this area. I think this is the candidate for those swing trades again. I'm not really sure about what's going to happen at this point, so I still like Euro Aussie. At the moment, I think anything to do with yen, I think you can short yen on basically anything, and that's been a swing trade that I mentioned in the Discord a couple of days back when Trump on Tuesday put the tariffs on. I think anything against the yen, I think you can short that. As in short yen, as in go long. US yen is one as well, potential. So the one thing on the COT reports, I forgot to show you guys on the COT reports, because remember they when you got a federal holiday, they get delayed, so they only came out Monday night. We actually saw each currency. This is the COT report. Actually, I think it was Kiwi dollar was the only one that rose, but it's such an untraded pair currency that I'm kind of discounting it. But when you look at the COT data, I know one data point doesn't make a trend, but every single currency had a dip in the COT reports. the one that actually rose was the US dollar. So I think this is still early days. There's a lot of moving parts with this US dollar trade, but remember, if you guys do remember, that I was pretty keen on where price had fallen on the Dixie on the monthly chart. I quite liked this area. This is that triple wick formation that I quite like. And if we look at the yearly chart, if I went to the 12-month chart, this red line is a neckline. So this to me, I thought was a very significant level for us to potentially bounce from, and it literally hit it to the pip, about a week ago. I brought it up a week ago when it hit this level, and then since then we were in a bit of a channel. We're taking a little bit of a breather, but if we can actually secure and come back up into it as well, then I think that potentially, while everyone's hating the US dollar, it was a very one-sided, crowded trade, and we could see a bit of an unwind. So I'm not saying go long on US dollar by any means, but I've got my eyes on it. I think if the Fed can start cutting rates and get I think the cutting rates is going to be a signal for people coming back into the US dollar. I think it's actually going to be, at the moment there's the de-dollarization movement, but I think that could actually help the US dollar. I still think the best companies are in the US, so there's going to be a good demand for the US, and we could see like this one-sided move start to unwind. But just keep that in mind for future weeks. But at the moment, the easiest trade for me is short yen. Swiss is pretty strong still. Gold's not really doing anything lately. Something that I'm also concerned about is there's going to be something's going to happen. We're seeing sentiment get extremely greedy, and when things get extremely greedy, this is a topping signal. Doesn't mean that we're at the top, but it is a topping signal that when it's getting so one-sided, something happens, and the VIX is getting incredibly low again. So that means everyone's really complacent. So VIX is low. Credit spreads are tight. We're seeing Bitcoin's nearly at all-time highs. We're seeing the treasury yields had a little bit of a breather yesterday, but they were like the last 5 days, they were getting back upwards of 4% as well. So when these guys have gotten up high, or like when they've accelerated, there's usually something's happened. So I don't know what is going to happen. If we knew what was going to happen, it wouldn't be an event that shocks the market. So there's going to be something unexpected. So maybe something to do with tariffs, maybe something to do with debt, maybe something to do with who knows what it could be, war, whatever. When the market's this complacent, there usually is some sort of correction, and we're very one-sided in the stock market right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see like a bit of a cool off. I mean, the NAS is up from these lows, up like 41%. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of minor correction. I'm not talking crash. I don't think the crash is on the cards, but I think a little correction is due. Just don't know what the event's going to be. Anyway, so we've got a few minutes before we open here. We've had very, very bullish week. Not sure if there's going to be any, like I thought today, maybe we could have had a little bit of a profit taking if we were able to close higher, but we've already had a bit of a correction. And prices, I wouldn't be surprised to see this continue running, to be honest. So let's see. What do you guys think? You think it pulled back enough here? Got enough of a consolidation? Kind of rejecting these previous demand areas? You think we just explode higher?
Yeah, I think
Open-minded.
Open-minded, yeah.
I reckon long.
Yeah. It's hard to argue against it, isn't it? So I would have been much more comfortable shorting it if we had opened above the highs not shorting it, but like expecting London to pull back if we're above the highs. But given Asia session has already pulled back, and looks like we just pulled back to like where New York session kind of consolidated before taking off. It looks like it's just getting ready to go again.
That pullback was right to the New York 50%.
Yeah. Okay. When you look at the session candles are good. It's looking very strong. When I put on this one, alternate day, it's just super, super strong, man. It's just we're trading so high, given that we've had basically zero pullback all week. Man, it's so hard when it's so hard for me to find an entry when we're so bullish. So I just wish London would come back and like try at least retest the session low, because I try. I mean, we have already. This is the first session in about 10 sessions where the Euro session took the Asia low. I see, like, even from these lows, London low, New York low, Asia, pre-London, London, New York, Asia, pre-London, London, New York, Asia, pre-London, London, New York. Each one of these sessions has never taken the session low in the last since Friday last week, since Friday London session. Today, pre-London did. So is that a sign that we could be slowly starting to see some weakening? And I'd love to see it, like, just for the sake of, what keeps on going up can't keep on going up forever. But it's like, do we just wait and be patient in the hands until we at least get a decent pullback before we can start, going for it? Or are we just happy to, given that the last like 3 or 4 days, everyone that's held a trade in the last 3 or 4 days from an institution is just well in profit? Like, when do they want to take profit?
I know.
So yeah, it's going to be, I need to get back into the winning books this session, so I'm going to be patient. So I've taken the Asia high. Okay, just then took Asia high. Overboard on the stocky. It's a little bit easier on the eyes, this grey background. Does anyone have any levels that you're looking at? No? The levels for me have been, because it's been so bullish like this, the levels are very difficult to find. Because there's nothing to the left to go off of. So, this is the new all-time high again in London.
Frightening, isn't it, really? Because you're looking at this and you're thinking it's got to come down. But, it's just proved us wrong every time this week.
Yeah, so the things
I would say a level would be something like 24,244. Really, that's where you start getting some consolidation there, small consolidation, but on the 15, on the 30 rather. But that's a long way to come down.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with stocks is that we need to, like, things go up and to the right on stocks. So what's driving this? So what's driving it was, well, I think what drove the most recent rally was the market is structurally bullish, so we're going up. There's no arguments about that. Why it's going up is AI productivity, fiscal spending, more money being redirected into NATO like defense. So that's going back into like these like some big companies like Rheinmetall in Germany. It's going back into like Airbus as well. We've got a bunch of other like Siemens as well for like AI technology. All of those kind of machines are highly specialized. So whilst you've got this like fiscal expansion from when Germany removed the debt brake, we've got a lot of money just being printed to try stimulate the Eurozone, because Euro basically forgot how to grow. So that's one thing. You've got money just flowing into the stock market. So that's going to help these businesses. The second thing, from all that money flowing into the stock market, this leads to currency debasement. So you've got the euro, not so much the euro, but we've got all currencies, except for Swiss, are actually doing the same, where they're just printing money. So when you look at like currency pairings, things go up and down together, but as a whole, fiat currency, like we are going through like a bit of a monetary debasement. So things like housing, things like gold, things like hard assets are going to go up, and stocks as well. When they do see like upticks in inflation, that's going to help the stock market continue rising as well, just because part of the stock market's rise each year is purely because prices rise. You know, when you go to the supermarket, you don't expect to see prices come down, or maybe on some items, but over time, prices just keep on going up to deal with inflation. So stock market can keep on going up forever. So that's driving it. AI, productivity, going up. So I get why it's going up. I'm not arguing about that. It's just how do we get into it? Especially when you're trying to trade with leverage. And that's the key, is that we can't just, unless you invest with no leverage, like as part of your investment strategy, it's just over time, trust it goes up, knowing that, unless they only lose if the market goes to zero, that's not going to happen. If it does happen, then you've got bigger things to worry about. If stock market goes to zero, these guys, these politicians, like they can just keep this thing going on and on and on. And that's one thing I guess that pisses me off when you read the media, is just everyone just harps on about how crap the economy is, and all these like perma bears out there, all these people like one guy that I'm not sure if you guys know him, the Eurodollar guy, Jeff Snyder. Anyone know him?
No, I don't.
It's just incredibly frustrating.
No.
He's like, he knows his stuff. And I listen to him because I know he knows the Eurodollar system very well. So he absolutely gets like how it works. But when you've got someone that's so nichely specialized, they just don't they might understand. They understand one very, very niche aspect of something, but then they've got no idea how to position as a trader, because it just doesn't work. Like he can. I guess I'm kind of struggling for the analogy. It's like they say the Eurodollar system is like plumbing, like the plumbing for the Eurodollar system and how it works. So you could have like a plumber that absolutely gets how plumbing and pipes work, but if you don't understand how water even gets into it, what's the point? So I guess that's the analogy I'm going to use, is like understands how plumbing works, but has no idea how water works when it gets into the plumbing, and that's him. So every time something happens, it's always tragedy. It's always clickbait titles. It's always It's always like, this isn't meant to happen, or this bank just signaled that they're about to collapse, and it just never happens. And if you listen to him, you'd be such a loser in the market, because you'd be so scared to invest, and you'd always be positioned for safety, and you'd never get any of the upside. So you need to make your own opinion and not listen to all these doomsayers and all this bear porn that's on YouTube. Just pisses me off, because it's all tragedy and everything, and all you do is like, you're never on the right side if you follow these guys. You need to hear both sides. You need to hear the perma bears, perma bulls, make your own decision. But stock market goes up. I get why it goes up. But now, how to get into that when you put in supply demand, institutional behavior about trying to buy low, sell high. We need to understand how like each session works, and when each session is so bullish like so, you just know at some stage there's going to be a bit of a rug pull. So I don't mind taking breakouts. It's not my preferred style, but I just hate buying the high and then watch it pull back like immediately. So I prefer to try get in on a pullback.
Well, would you say that's a pullback?
Stocky wasn't oversold, but this was a little consolidation here. So 3 minute will be oversold. Oh no, not quite. 1 minute definitely would have been. For sure, 1 minute would have got oversold right over here.
Yeah.
So it depends if we trust that this is the level. So for me, I'm just going to have to bide my time today. The pressure's on. I don't want a losing streak to start. Can have a losing day, a losing streak.
Yesterday was bad enough. I don't want any more of that.
Okay. For a swing trade, Aussie Kiwi is interesting. I'll go to that very quickly. It's not often that I like trading Aussie Kiwi because of the like, you look at the monthly, it's just always in a range right here. But we're getting to an interesting level with the Aussie and Kiwi interest rates. So on the daily, we've got a level right here which kind of stands out to me. So I'm kind of thinking that we could continue to see some Aussie strength. So I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I don't want to buy with stocky overbought at this resistance, but I'm very interested that if we can, maybe there's a counter trend opportunity for price to come back down and then just take out like this level again. But if price pushed up into here and then rejected this level and pushing up again, I can easily see us breaking that high and start filling some of this space. So I think there is actually like there is a possibility to get that move. So Aussie Kiwi is actually on my radar right now. I'll put that in the Discord for you guys actually. I know it's been a bit difficult for swing trades lately.
Would you take the counter trend on that, Hayden, or would you just?
You could as a day trade. Yeah, as a day trade, you could.
Yeah. And why do you think it's going to turn there? Where's the structure there?
Here.
Consolidation, yeah. Why there?
Because this is like we've got a bit of a fair value gap here.
Yeah.
So it could go deeper. That's why I want to see if it does reject, because we've got a triple wick area here, and we've got a bit of like if we look at on the lower time frame, what we've got is you've got a clear consolidation here, and then you've got a clear rally, and now this area you can see like price is accumulating here. So if you've got a sweep,
Yeah.
and it retests this area, so this is where liquidity is building, and this is where there's like a low. This is a low liquidity area. So if we push down here, it could stop out and do a liquidity grab for anyone that's bought up here. If it rejects and then makes a higher low, then that's where I'd be thinking we can go, because this would be the liquidity grab. So that's why I've got that level like right around
Right.
there.
Okay.
It's just to sweep this area again. But I'm looking at this was the main consolidation. So this is the accumulation, rally, accumulating again, and just to retest this level if it rejects it. Because this is a pretty significant daily zone up here as well. That's why I think there could be a decent reaction from up here, just to take out these lows. And then if we reject that, and we're looking like we're going to come up and have a go at this one a second time, and that's where I think you can actually go to take that one a second time. If it breaks, then it should be a fairly clean run for another 60 pips.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll put that in the Discord for the members. And to me, it's like, I mean, for a day trade, you could trade it up. In a day trade, you could probably trade it back down for the reaction, because that's a pretty decent level. But day trade is a bit, like, it's hard to give a signal day trading. It's easier to give a signal swing trading like this. But I don't think you could go wrong day trading it either. It's just Aussie Kiwi is a bit of a tricky beast.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we're coming down here on as a German. Something's happening, which is good.
So we're looking at buys today on German.
Buys. I don't have a bias yet. I just took it's bullish. I get it, but it's so bullish, so high that I'm really worried about buying the highs.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to see like a clear structure set up where I can trade between two zones. So like, yeah, I mean, like, I think if you saw this rejection in a few wicks, if you anticipated this level to break, then trading like this is a pretty tight zone. But I'm hoping that we can get a bit more direction and then look for a better area. So it's still early days, but this could be a good little.
Well, where your 2 lines below that's really where it should be, is it? You know, the 2 black lines horizontal. Or do you think further down or further up?
It's so bullish that it doesn't need to pull back much. So this is a decent level as well if you wanted to go long from.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Is anyone long?
No, I'm flat at the moment. Had a nice pound yen trade.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's see if this holds. Yeah, very interesting level we're at right now. Whether it rejects this zone or it holds. This is an area of demand here. I dipped into. Okay, let's see. What are you gonna do, German? What are we at? We're at 60 pips for the open. I've got it. This area. Is it gonna hold above here? Went long on the break of the 3 minute, cool. This one here, yeah. I think London have got to be careful shorting as well with this momentum, because the squeeze could be well and truly on. There's so many buyers here, so I wouldn't want to short anywhere in here. I'd want to short from up here somewhere if it's going to do a rug pull. Okay, I'm going to go long.
What now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to look for it to retest the London high. Going to secure some. I think this can push it higher. I'm going to secure like a bit above the London high. Stop loss is a bit underneath here.
You in already, Hayden?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, push. Push. Come on. Come on, push. It's going to bring my stop. It's going to start trailing the 5-minute candles. If we can break up, just reduce the risk. Let's get up there. Here we go. It's going to bring my stop right up now. So I'm going to give back. It's rejecting here again. Only risking like what am I risking? Just a few pips now, in case it does reject. Just been a bit of a coward the way managing it with being so close to these highs. 5-minute candle. Okay, 5-minute candle's nearly closed. How the stocks open? Yeah, S&P's up a lot. 1% already from the open. Merck's up a heap. Mercedes is even up. BMW. Oh wait, it should be update. Oh, it's delayed. Yeah, it did open up though. Yeah, no, looking good. Looking good. So 5 minutes closed now. So it's getting nearly 1-to-1 from where my initial stop loss was. So if it can just push up maybe 10 more pips higher, I'm gonna bank a bit of profit.
The 30, 15, and 5 are all very bullish.
Yeah, just thinking that the 30-minute just closed. So it's still a bit of a concern with the way that this candle, like this one here and then this one here, still, to me that's a bit of a range when you've got a rejection from the upside followed by a rejection from the downside. So I just wanted to go a bit higher, just test the top of the range and hopefully break the range. That'd be the best outcome.
Hopefully it's just forming a lower wick.
Yeah, hopefully. Or just at least a higher low anyway. Come on. What news? Brussels is discussing car quotes. This 5-minute candle's nearly closed, and I'll bring my stop to break even once this one closes. Unless it closes down there. If it closes up here, I'll move it just to break even. So 5 seconds. Yeah. Move it to break even now. It's just underneath the stops, basically at the low. It's breaking the low. I'll have to reconsider. But hopefully it doesn't do that. Anyway, it's risk-free now. Still as well going to take some profit if it can push up to here. Yeah, break even. BE. That sucks. Man. Okay, here's the next one. Yeah, the warning sign for me was this. Seeing that and then seeing that, I hate that. Like this candle would be a-okay if it wasn't for the one to the left of it. Okay, well, we're back into Monday, Tuesday. Like where Monday took a while to get going. Tuesday took a while before it got going. Wednesday just bloody boomed. And then today seems to be taking a while to get going. So annoying, man. What's your Aussie doing? Is your Aussie breaking down? So your Aussie's in that very interesting zone now.
Yeah.
Right, Germans. Yeah, all-time high problems. It's annoying when it's like this. When we're up like after yesterday, all-time highs. Very, very troublesome. That's why I managed the trade like a scared little person. Alrighty, are you going to go now? Got divergence on the stochastic. Well, it's indicating it anyway. To me, that's not really. It might be a flaw in the stick. This one here was. You've got this kind of like flat top. You've got higher highs. So I'd be a bit cautious jumping into buys. I think the buys first time made sense. But I think you need to see a proper close above here now before you can reconsider. What do you guys think?
Not showing much conviction either way.
Yeah, it's in a range. This is the 15-minute candles indicate. These two here, it's a range.
Yep.
I'll point out again to you guys, if you see something like this, where you've got like, say you've got any sort of candle to the left, and then if you see a red candle that breaks the high and then close bearish, and then you see a candle that breaks the low but then closes bullish like this, most of the time that indicates that this is the range. And then it's about kind of got to wait to see which way it breaks out of. So you can see it actually happens again over here to the left. Where is it? You got this. It's very small. Like you got this one that breaks the low to the left, closes bullish, and then you've got this one that breaks the high but then closes bearish. To me, that indicates the consolidation. Now the next candle, thankfully, just left it and then closed higher and then kept on going. And then the secret sauce is when price then retests it. You see like how this same zone becomes quite interesting. Like it sits on it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Price pushes up, it holds it. As soon as it closes back inside, you know you're going to the bottom. Comes back down, does absorb sellers, bit of a fake out, then pushes very, very nicely to the upside again. So it's a pretty big one, 63 pips, but it does mean that price can be trapped in here for a bit. But if it does break the upside, then these are some very, very nice boundaries. Like it can either bounce, but if it fails and it closes inside, most likely go to the bottom. So when you've got a big one, it's kind of annoying because you could be inside it for a while, but also like if it pushes up, then there's a potential retest opportunity to keep on going higher. But if it closes inside, then you've got a 63 pip range where you can look for downside. Now it's, of course, it doesn't happen, every time. If it did, you'd just be able to code it up and then just have a robot trade it for you. So, it's a decent price action to look for. It doesn't mean that on any single trade you should full margin, but just think like it can give you an idea for a future trade. But the price action's looking a bit shitty, man. I've only really had one clean day, and that day I was so bloody bullish that I took a loss on it. And then the other days of this week, it's just been so tiring to watch. Frank 40 looks better. Let's have a look at Frank 40. Could be my second trade of the year for Frank 40. So we're not at all-time highs by any means. We are getting to a decent little resistance right now. And that triple wick area. There's a triple wick area. Kind of just there. Yeah, I don't normally trade Frank 40 because it doesn't have the Asian session, so you're in NAS as well. Yeah, NAS is looking a bit better.
Yeah, I quite like taking NAS in London now because it's quite slow.
Yeah, it's slow.
Yeah.
Still moves like 60 odd pips though, so it's
Yeah.
it's wild in New York session.
Yeah.
The ASX 200 was easy today because the US markets were up. It just followed suit.
Yeah, I saw Vanguard was doing well.
Yeah.
The ETFs. Look at this thing I saw on emerging markets. Look at this.
Wow.
I think that's just I've seen a few times it does this, but I think this is just a complete. I don't think that's real. Look at it. Big spike.
What is that, Hayden?
It's an emerging markets ETF. I think it's just an issue. I'm not sure what causes this, but it's not real, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
It's like the first 5 minutes of it opening. Which, I mean, I can imagine. Like, imagine if there were like people wanted to buy VGE on open. So what Vanguard do is they just push the price up, put your buy order here, and then bring it back down. Like, imagine that. I don't think they do that. I think this is just issues with the spread, but I don't think people actually buy these highs.
They give you the price when you trade it.
Not ETFs, no.
When I do, it goes at market.
Yeah, it's at market, not when you buy it on open. Because they're only open when, like, if you buy UK, it'll be UK stock exchange hours, or Aussie will be Aussie stock exchange hours. So those Vanguard ones are Aussie domiciled ones. So you can either enter at market, or you can enter.
Yeah.
Or you so for the UK, you can enter at market and pay I think it's you pay a trade, like a fee.
Trade fee, yeah.
Or you can, or twice a day, you can just put you can just put a pen in order for them, and they'll fill the trade when they put their bundles of trades on, and you can avoid that trade fee in the UK. In the Aussie you can't. But I'm really cautious about
Yeah, the fee's not that big. That's why I always do it myself. I know where it is then.
Yeah. In Aussie, you can't get around the fee, but because it does kind of spike at the open, I prefer not to put a trade on because it's just a pain for me. Because when I do like the monthly payment or monthly trade to the ETF, at the moment it's like after 1:30 in the morning. So it's just I don't want to stay up that late to put a trade on at market. So I've put in like either a pending order, or I put a request that ought to take the trade at a specific price.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a pain trying to invest in Australia when you live in the UK for timing purposes.
My daughter got back yesterday from Oz, and her time, it was so funny. She was just kept falling asleep.
Jet lag's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they stopped in Singapore for a few days.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
No.
Oh, man. This is...
In this instance, Hayden, wouldn't you just trade the range,
Um,
the lows and the highs? It's still 60 odd pips, isn't it?
yeah, but it's not really my normal... It's not my go-to style range trading. So, like, I mean, I'm not going to talk anyone out of it, that's for sure.
It's probably a bit safer in this instance, isn't it, than potential breakouts?
I'd do that much more comfortably on currency, on equities.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Because more often than not, it trends.
Yeah. So your next point of entry would be at the bottom of the range, though, would it, for buys?
Not. I wouldn't go in long without a confirmation.
Order filled.
So I'm not very comfortable with the price action at the moment to go long, given where we are at these all-time highs.
Yeah.
So I want to see like some sort of conviction. So like, say for example, I mean it's looking pretty aggressive to break these wicks and go lower.
Yeah.
So if I thought we're going to go down and then price had pulled back, I would be very comfortable if it was kind of like retested this area and it was looking aggressive again to go in for a sell to go down to take that second break.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it rejected here, and then because this area where price is consolidated the most, this now becomes a point of interest for me. So
yeah,
it's like either do we do a retest and then think it's going to go down further to make a new lower low, or is it break it pretty comfortably and then we can use this as a support area to then look for it to take the high and beyond. But this area now is where most is consolidated. So that area, I want to use this area as some sort of point of reference. We've got Frankfurt low, which is definitely like this area of demand pushed up and made the new higher high from it. So we've got there's liquidity sat underneath here. This wick has kind of thinned out a lot of liquidity that was sitting there, and this level is not as strong so much anymore. So this is the freshest level.
Yeah.
So if London do want to get a better price, then this would be a target. So
yes,
could they force sellers out of the market? Sorry, could they force buyers out of the market and then buy low from under here to go up? Or is there too much momentum by that stage that price is going to, maybe there's going to be people that have been in this trade all week that then start thinking, we've kind of made a new all-time high, kind of looking like a double top at this moment between these two highs. So maybe that could be a time people consolidate, lock in some profits, and we could see a deeper pullback.
Yes.
So it's still some conflicting ideas here.
Mhm.
Be right back, guys. Gonna make a coffee. Tired as hell.
What?
Tired as hell. We still haven't made a coffee.
What's your problem?
You always make a coffee.
Yeah, I will do the coffee.
Next time. Tired as hell. Been up all night.
Just go. Stop it. Just go.
I asked like 20 minutes ago.
No, 20 minutes.
I asked, I said, I think it's
20 minutes. You think that was 20 minutes ago?
I do think it was 20 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't. Jeez.
Maybe.
Not the only one to have here.
Then make a coffee for us then. Bloody hell, it can help us out. We're really tired.
Maybe. Only now is
Okay.
is ready can't wait anymore. Sorry, maybe no attention.
Saw this on Financial Juice. I don't know what is going on here with it, but it says Trump EU trade deal tentative and Van der Leyen confident. So yeah. I don't know what these are. I didn't see them anywhere else. Didn't know there was a tentative deal to be scheduled for today, or if this is just I don't know what it is.
What time is that?
It says
05. Is that?
when it says tentative, it means they've just put
Yeah.
to play. This number is 5 o'clock UK time in the morning.
Right.
When it says tentative, it just means they just put it they put it here as a time, but it's not a time to be honoured.
Right.
So I'm not sure if there's
Well, that can be
something
positive for the euro, couldn't it?
anything that's certain is positive, but if it comes in and it's like a pretty high number, then it could be it could be opposite.
Well, it's dropped at the moment, so maybe that's why. I guess the Aussie anyway. Maybe that's the reason. It's just dropped quite considerably. Just picking up a bit now.
Everything's pretty flat though. Euro US is up a little bit from the Asian session. One second. Hey, where's the kiss as well? Where's the kiss in the cheek as well? Isn't it service with a smile? Or is it service with a grimace? You can taste the love in this coffee. It's made with love, this one, wasn't it? I said it once and said again. Patience will get you paid, guys. Unless it's yesterday. Definitely didn't pay us yesterday, but be patient. Don't force anything.
I'm a bit conflicted with my bias, to be honest. That's the trouble.
Yeah. I mean, if you're conflicted and the trade's just not there, it's just like make sure we don't force it. It's the worst is to. I don't like it's. It never hurts. I mean, it's never nice losing anything, but at least if you lose following a plan, it's a lot easier than losing because just forced something. So like, what really annoyed me was kind of broke my rules to find a trade yesterday. That's where I was really like disappointed in myself. Don't mind it taking a loss so much if it was just didn't work out.
I ended up having 5 bites, is it? 2 small wins and 1 big loss, and 2 small losses, really. So overall, pretty bad day, really.
Right. So it looks like we're going to
again trying to short it when it wasn't really there.
Yeah. Okay, we're testing the bottom of this range now.
Yeah. Rejected it.
Yeah. That's about 10 pip rejection. What's this? Gospel.
Yeah, it's just a skin version of Tradingview. You can, if someone don't have a custom time frame, they cannot use. If don't have a Tradingview Premium,
Yeah,
you can use that one for just to check the other time frame.
Oh, by the way, guys, as well, I'm setting it up. I've got a partnering up with BLACKBULL Markets, by the way. So I got an offer if anyone was looking for a broker. BLACKBULL Markets they're pretty good. So they're one of the top.
Which
ones. BLACKBULL Markets. So they're based out of New Zealand. They've got a UK entity as well, but because they're not so based on sales out of New Zealand means they are not tied to the same leverage restrictions as any broker in Australia have. So you can get 500 to 1 leverage, so good for smaller accounts. But then I was speaking with them. I've got a contact that if anyone needs help with their accounts as well, I'll put all this information in the Discord. But they're a top tier broker. Very good leverage, very good spreads, very good execution speeds, and then signing up through if I
look at this.
Zero commission on gold. So with using my affiliate link, you'll get you can there's a 50% deposit bonus. So let's say, for example, you up to 500. So you put $1,000 in, but they'll also credit you $500 bonus.
Is that won't work with smart charts? So we'll have to go with Tradingview, yeah.
Yeah. So then if you trade over a certain size per month lot sizes. It's definitely achievable. I think it's like a month accumulation of size. I have to double check. I think it's 5 lots or 10 lots. I've got the information.
It's all right.
It's so they'll offer you, if you trade a certain size, like a cumulative volume across the month, they'll throw in Tradingview and a VPS as well.
That's good.
Where are they based, Hayden?
New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's good for leverage. I think because a lot of people get, like, I've got, you guys know, with my, like with Pepperstone, I've got Pepperstone Pro, so that gives me good leverage. But I've got an account. I'm gonna be creating an account. I've been trying to find another broker to diversify a bit outside of just Pepperstone. So BLACKBULL's the one I'm going to go with, rather than IC markets.
I'm on Pepperstone Pro too, Hayden.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. Like, you got to go with a good broker, and like, I'm never going to fault Pepperstone. I've been with them for a long time. But if you want an alternative one, BLACKBULL's the one I'm going to recommend. Because
can you so did you say you're going to post something up the affiliate link? Otherwise, can you just send it through to me? I'll have a look.
No, I've been meaning to get it done today. I've been meaning to get it done the last couple of days, but I've got it all, and you've got a contact if you need any help with anything. Got a dedicated guy that will assist with anyone as well.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah, BLACKBULL, very good.
And they're from New Zealand.
Yeah. So the one issue I had with, like, IC markets is also a good one. So remember when I was talking about doing like a copy trade service as well, like potentially if you guys were interested to.
Yeah.
So BLACKBULL was the one that are much easier to do that with as well. So that's why, like, I reached out to them to see what services they had for that side of things. So I'm still unsure how what I do with that part, but if you were looking for a broker, anyway, I've got my trusted brokers. And that's going to be Pepperstone and BLACKBULL.
When I get around to, sorry, man. Yeah.
Sorry. Like IC markets, I just found, I'm looking at, like, if you're happy with a broker, then look, don't change. But if you are looking for a new one, like I found with IC markets,
Order filled.
the issue with them that I had was I kept, like, when it was really volatile, I kept on getting, like, I haven't used them for a while, so maybe they fixed it, but the latency was awful. Like, sometimes I'd put a trade on and there was just no connection. And then, like, it would just, especially around news, price would just stop. And then it wouldn't come back on for quite a while. And I found the same happened with Blueberry as well. And I didn't think that I like Blueberry as well, but there's the latency issues that I was finding with Blueberry and IC markets when I was testing them out. What was an issue? But then with BLACKBULL, you got great leverage, so you don't need to worry about, like, trying to prove if you're a sophisticated investor. And then also now that, you know, they throw some perks in as well, like free Tradingview, 50% deposit bonus up to 500, a VPS service as well. All these things is, I think, excellent for managing trades.
Hey, what are their spreads like?
Very good, very good. German 40 is a little bit higher than Pepperstone. It was sitting at about 1.2 versus 0.9.
Yeah. What about gold? What's that spread?
Gold. I'll have to check. 1 second. I haven't got it loaded up. So.
Didn't actually say it was 0 on gold?
Commission, 0 commission.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So there's a few, like, they've got different accounts. So you've got the standard account, which is where the spread's built into, the commission's built into the spread. But then, they've got a minimum deposit to get the prime account, which is the Razor. But they, like, it's he's reduced it for anyone that uses the link, so it's not very much you need to deposit to get the Prime account, and the Prime account is where you get the real tight spreads.
And what's the minimum deposit there?
It's like minimum deposit's anything you want, but for the Prime account, it is it's like 500 quid or so. So it's not much. It might be
Was it New Zealand dollars or pounds?
I was talking pounds. I think it might be 2,000 Aussie or 1,000 Aussie. I'll double check with him and get all the details.
And you get 50%. You get 50% uplift on that as well, do you? If you join it.
Up to 500, yeah.
Up to 500
Up
pounds.
to 500. That's all they match. 500, Hayden.
If you put 1,000, they'll give you 500 bucks to it. You can't withdraw it. You can't just like put 1,000.
Is that the maximum 1,000?
The maximum for deposit bonus, it is. You can put it whatever you want in, but they'll give you a bit extra as a like a thank you.
They give you 500 on top, whatever you put in, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's over 1,000. Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's still something, you know. It's better than nothing.
Then others,
Yeah, exactly.
Poke in the eye, isn't it?
anything.
Yeah,
Better than a poke in the eye.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, smack in the belly with a wet fish.
So
Yeah, I was going to say, fish
gold-
around your back.
gold gin is 1.2.
Sorry, what is it again?
1.2.
Gold.
Okay, that's lower than what currently
That's
one.
good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's lower than Pepperstone, yeah.
Yeah, Pepperstone's a bit high, isn't it? Like it used to be lower, but I mean they did actually drop it by 30% as well, but it's still like 1.7.
I'm actually looking for a new broker because I've been using capital.com, not Capital Index, capital.com. But their spread seemed, and their leverage is crap.
Yeah, no, BLACKBULL, they like the.
And then they'll close you out if you haven't put a stop on it. It really drives me mad.
Yeah, okay. I'll put all the details in there, so there's some really nice perks.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good.
I'll sort that out today for sure. Okay, come on, man. What are we doing here?
What are you hoping there to break the low here, Hayden? To go short?
To be honest, I just wanted it to pull back. So, because then I can work out if I want to go short or long. Because I can't go short because it's oversold. And I can't, and I'm not convinced to go long yet. So, I'm still very interested in this area because it was been so traded that I'd like to see like if we can at least reject here, come back down, and then look for it to keep on going. Or if it can push up here and then show some sign of strength into it, then I think we can actually go up. And then I don't know how much, given that we are all-time highs, I don't know how willing people. I mean, I think the buys make sense actually. I think the buys make sense that if they bought here, no doubt there'll be people willing to buy the high, no doubt. So I think that could be an easy chance for them to buy low, knowing that there are going to be buyers up here. Yeah. And that way, if it can push up, eventually it could see a little bit of a boost. But I feel like there's a rug pull coming.
Yeah, I do as well.
Given where we are for this week so far, like this is a pretty big weekly candle already. Like apart from like where the market was absolutely insane in April. Like this is like when you look at the size of this week, like we're already up around 4% gain, 3.6% gain for the week, and like you look at all these other weekly candles, like it's a pretty big size. So we've moved a lot in 3.5 days of trading. So I think there could just be one more push. Perhaps to absorb some buyers, and then they can do some profit taking.
Yeah, this doesn't look like profit taking now, does it? They're hovering still.
I mean, it's grinding lower, But this
Yeah,
like,
saying that.
why I didn't want to jump in for sells. Just, I mean, one, because we're oversold,
Oh,
but I mean, I didn't want to jump for buys because this area here was already tested once, and it didn't result in much. Like we tried the buys, but it was a break even, and then now it's come back down a second time, breaking this low, hitting this area of demand. So if it pulls back like so, then maybe it extends the life of this rally just a little bit further. Oh, this is IC markets, actually. So IC markets, is there, there's no, yeah, IC market spreads are very good. 7.7 for gold. So nearly, yeah, it's the problem I had with them was during use. I was getting gaps in price and stuff and latency issues. Other than that, they're a top broker as well. Yeah, big slippage on IC markets.
Yeah, I used to use them as well, IC markets. They get a lot of slippage.
Yeah, it's the latency is the issue because they're great spreads. Normal
Yeah,
conditions are fine, but when you got bad latency, you get, especially around news, you get slipped hard.
yeah.
And at least if you go with someone that's got great latency, then you have much more chance of getting executed at the price, even in high volume times. Come on, man. So definitely got a bit of a channel forming now. Okay, you reckon that's it? I reckon it's just come down and swept this area of demand. Is that where's Frankfurt low? Frankfurt low is this candle. This is a Frankfurt low. I'd like to see it take this low out now.
What, before the push?
Yeah. Okay, come on, drop. With that little push back up, it's going to be very interesting what it does here. Whether it wants to, like, because this is the bottom of that range as well. So what are we doing? Like, are we gonna? We've kind of got this channel that's been coming down, and then we've got this range area. So we closed outside of it. So the key now is if this is a fake out. You too, actually. Have a good New York session. Man, what a it's apples and oranges, isn't it? With the days this week.
Has been a bit. I'm going to run, Hayden, but good luck to you and everyone.
Cheers,
Have
buddy.
fun, and I'll try and catch you tomorrow.
See you, pal.
See you, Mike.
See you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run as well soon. So I'm hoping we can. Asia close is coming up soon, but the price action's been pretty uninspiring. We're coming back from oversold, but it's been like a 70 pip range, kind of at this interesting level. To me, I think this is the main zone up here, though. This one here. So I think we should do a retest of that area. So if maybe there's a chance we can take a long if we think this is the retest. So like trading back up. I mean, it's it's not even worth it. Like I don't want to take this. I'm not taking it, but I'm just saying like the pip size is too little. But I think that would make sense to if it was breaking through here. If this range was a bit higher, I think it would be worth it. Like if it was like say 40 pips, but it's like 20 pips. So it's almost not even. It's just can get taken out. Just the noise.
So what's your thought then? It's going to hit the your lines there, and then you're going to go short, or do you think it's going to go through?
I really don't know. Given how bullish yesterday was, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of this reverse.
Yeah. All-time highs.
Yeah, but it's kind of just doing nothing at the moment. So yeah, I'm just not sure. I haven't got a. I think after because yesterday was. Yeah, I don't know. These are the times that it's just not. I just don't see something that it's just not that clear with what price is going to do.
Yeah,
quite messy action.
Yeah, it is messy. I'll just remove that so don't confuse anyone. Okay, but come down, drop into that lower area.
So you'll make a decision on that once it drops. If it drops in there, you'll decide whether to go short or long.
Well, I really wanted it to, because this area to me is left untouched. So I still think this is a decent little demand area.
Needs to be sweet. Yeah.
So to me, what would make it easier is if it comes back and it rejects this area and then it's dropping. So if it rejected that area and then dropping, then I'd think it would be a fairly safe trade to trade something like this. And because of the way that yesterday had pushed up so much, I think you can remove your risk and leave a runner. As in, you get an entry, you get your 1-to-1, close some of it, and then you can secure it. Just take the risk out of that trade. But then if it's breaking down and you want to risk a bit more, whatever's remaining on this, I think you can add another position and just put the stop loss around halfway. So that you risk being a break even, but you also you've got a chance you can add volume without actually adding extra risk to the trade.
Yeah.
So that means you take the first trade and then you take some profit, but then you add some more risk.
Yeah.
But if it does come back, you risk break even only. You don't risk.
So look at it at the moment. It looks like it's going clear nearer to your Frankfurt low there. If it hits that now, where would you go then? Would you go Would you go long?
I don't think so. I don't think so because yesterday was so bullish. So that's where I'm. If yesterday wasn't so bullish, because I think that there's such a chance that we could correct heaps of this. I think yesterday with the seemingly the threat leaving being gone, that was the day for them to pump. But then if they do introduce any more tariff news, then price can literally just come back down and reverse this whole thing. That's why I'm being at all-time highs. You've got to be so careful going long, but you've also got to be so careful shorting it as well because you get caught with this momentum, getting caught in a short squeeze. To me, it looks like there's a bit of profit taking happening. To me, I think we could easily just retest these previous highs and then go long from. They could easily retest. There'll be so many people caught offside trying to just short an all-time high. That price can easily retest that all-time high, and that's the bottom where we bounce from. So for me, I think for where I'd want to go long, I wouldn't want to go long with these structures here because these structures, like this support area, never led to a new higher high. It just, the higher close. So to me, this is a very shaky support. So if it is breaking down, the closer areas is going to be this area to the left or the previous high. We could easily just come back all the way down. That's why I'm really cautious about taking a buy from here. I'd much rather have had pushed up and then started pushing down, and then we can get the momentum trade. So I don't want to take a long. I wasn't comfortable taking a long without a pullback yesterday, and now price is hundreds of pips higher. I'm still not comfortable taking a long when I don't have a great place for my stop loss. That's the thing. Whereas you need to have those things. You need to have a good place for a stop loss. You need to have a target. So earlier, I was happy that this price, like on the 5 minute, this looked like a fairly decent little rejection of these previous support areas. So I was happy to try and take it to go back up because my stop loss was going to be underneath there. And then if it pushed up, I was just going to trail my stop loss until, we trailed it, trying to get a 1-to-1. It didn't, came back for a break even, but that's okay because I knew where my stop loss is going to go. Underneath here, you could take a pretty Like if you think that this is where it's going to go, then like it's a bit risky for me to put a stop loss underneath here. But if it because if it breaks that area and wants to go down, it's going to go a long way further. So there's no point risking much more than that for your stop loss. But you can so easily just get whipped out of it. So
yeah,
it'd be kind of one of those situations where I would have a soft stop loss. So what I mean by that is, you got to be really mentally ready to get out. But let's say you bought and your target could be like a multiple of risk reward. My stop loss would be, say, underneath here, but it's not a hard stop loss. It's mentally, I don't want it to break and close underneath this line. But if it did a candle that wicked down, then at least it would have touched an area that I'm not comfortable with, but it wouldn't stop me out. But if the candle closed, once the candle closes, then I make it a hard stop loss and I bring my stop loss up to that level. Because if it did a candle like this and then it's filling that wick, it could easily just keep on going down. So it's like I've got a level that I want to get out, but really only if it touches that level twice.
Yeah. But
it's we had to go, got to break even from it, and then it's a day that I don't want to force anything in this market.
It's touched your zone there, hasn't it?
It has
swept that.
Yeah, it's touched it. So yeah, like I still would prefer it to come back up and reject here. I really want it to do this. So I'm gonna have to go though, guys. I gotta take over from Maddie. So
yeah.
Good luck if you decide to keep trading, but if you don't force anything, okay? Don't force anything. There's always tomorrow. The market's always going to be here. If you can't find a good trade, then just tomorrow's another day, or just. I mean, for me as well, I've been sat here now for a couple of hours, or a few hours now actually. So I don't think my decision-making process gets any better after 3 hours at the computer. So sometimes.
Thanks, Hayes. Great session. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers, Danny.
All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay?
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Hayden.
Okay. Good luck, guys. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks.